Gentlemen, let's stop pretending. Let's stop sugarcoating. When she doesn't call, when she doesn't message, not for a day, not for a week, but for a long time, it means something. And it's time we face it like men, not in fantasy, not in denial, but in truth. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means something. And it's not something complicated or mysterious, something most men don't want to accept because the truth stings. But let me tell you, truth will sting for a moment, while denial will haunt you for years. When the silence stretches, when the days roll into weeks and there's no word from her, no ping, no check-in, no how are you need to stop making excuses. She's not too busy. She didn't forget. Her battery didn't die for 2 weeks. Her schedule didn't suddenly remove her humanity. The silence is intentional. It's deliberate. It speaks louder than 1,000 conversations. You see, communication is no longer a struggle in this era. We carry the entire world in our pockets. It takes exactly 1.3 seconds to type hi. It takes even less time to send an emoji. If someone cares, they don't disappear. If someone's heart is with you, you'll feel their presence even when they're physically absent. So when she vanishes, not for a few hours, not for a night, but for long enough that you're now questioning your worth, it's not because she's in a personal storm. It's not because she's afraid of her feelings. It's not because she's confused. It's because she's made a decision and didn't have the courage or interest to let you in on it. Most men fall into the trap of overthinking. They analyze every detail, every message sent weeks ago, every photo liked on social media. They convince themselves that she's just going through something, that maybe she'll come back if they just wait a little longer. But that's not strength. That's emotional slavery. You're holding on to a connection she let go of a long time ago. And here's the hard truth. The longer you wait for someone who has stopped choosing you, the longer you delay your own healing. You're giving time, energy, and mental space to someone who doesn't even give you a second thought before going days, maybe even months, without a single message. What you need to understand is that when someone loves you, they don't hide, they don't ghost, they don't run from the connection. They protect it. A woman who values you doesn't just feel something, she shows it. Even if she's having a hard day, even if she's tired, even if life is busy, she will still make space for you. Because when someone cares, they make you a part of their world, not a forgotten footnote in it. So stop glorifying the woman who doesn't call. Stop romanticizing the silence. It's not deep. It's not meaningful. It's not proof that she's processing her love. It's proof that you are not on her radar in the way you think. And you know what? That's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay. Not everyone will value you. But just because someone fails to see your worth doesn't mean it's gone. Just because she's silent doesn't mean you should lose your voice. The moment you stop chasing the ones who don't reach out is the moment you begin honoring yourself. Your time is sacred. Your presence is valuable. You don't have to beg for someone's attention. If they withhold it, they're not confused. They're clear. And now, so are you. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means she's already made her choice. Now it's your turn. Make yours. Choose to walk away with your dignity intact. Choose to protect your peace. Choose to invest your energy in someone who won't vanish without explanation, because you were never meant to be an option. You were born to be chosen. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means something you probably don't want to hear. But it's something you need to hear. Her silence is not neutral. It's not random. It's not just life happening. It's communication without words. When a woman who used to be in touch, who used to check in, ask how your day was, send a heart emoji, or even just reply, suddenly disappears and stays gone for a long time. It's not a glitch, that's a choice. And here's the uncomfortable part. You were not the choice. Most men, when faced with this kind of silence, fall into a cycle of self-blame and fantasy. They think maybe she's just busy, or she'll come around, or if I reach out just one more time, she might respond. But that's not how real connection works. Real connection doesn't vanish. It doesn't fade into radio silence without an explanation. A woman who values you, who truly cares about you, does not let you sit in doubt and confusion for weeks. She doesn't just disappear and expect you to wait in emotional limbo. The silence is not a placeholder for a future apology. It's a sign that you've been moved to the background. She may not have said it out loud, but the distance says it for her. You're no longer a priority. The hard truth is, when someone cares about you, they make effort, no matter how small. It's not about writing paragraphs or planning grand gestures. Sometimes it's just a two-word message, still here. That's all it takes to show someone they still matter. But when you don't even get that, when days go by, then weeks, and there's not even a breadcrumb of effort, that's when you need to stop hoping and start accepting. It's not that she's too busy. It's not that she's confused. It's that she's clear, and you just haven't caught up to that clarity yet. Now let's talk about what that silence does to you. Let's not pretend it doesn't affect your confidence, that you don't check your phone late at night hoping for a message, that you don't scroll through old texts trying to find the moment things change. This kind of waiting isn't strength, slow erosion. It chips away at your dignity little by little, and the more you tolerate it, the more you train yourself to accept less than you deserve. You start rationalizing emotional neglect. You start labeling indifference as patience. So that's how a man forgets who he is. Here's what you need to remember. You are not here to chase. You are not here to prove your worth to someone who doesn't even show up. You are not a filler in someone's quiet season. You are not the one who should always reach out, always initiate, always wait. If her silence stretches, let your silence answer back. Not as a game, not as revenge, but as a decision, a declaration of your own value. Because if she can go weeks without wondering how you are, without checking in, then let her go months, years, a lifetime if necessary. Don't chase someone who isn't looking back. Sometimes silence isn't just absence, it's the loudest truth you'll ever hear. And it's telling you she's already moved on, emotionally or mentally, even if she hasn't said it directly. So now it's your move. Stop waiting, start walking. Because closure doesn't always come with explanations. Sometimes it comes in the form of unread messages and a quiet that refuses to break. Believe it or not, that's your answer, and it's time you respected it. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means more than most men are willing to admit. It means you're no longer in her focus. And instead of facing that truth, many of us bury it beneath excuses. We convince ourselves she must be overwhelmed, she must be tired, or maybe she's just not good at communication. But deep down, you know that when someone cares, even just a little, they find a way to reach out. We live in a world where a simple thinking of you takes less than 5 seconds to send. So when nothing comes, not a call, not a text, not even a missed emoji, it isn't forgetfulness, it's avoidance, it's disengagement. It's her slowly backing away without having to say a word. That's the quiet exit most people never talk about. The one that leaves you questioning everything while she's already moved on emotionally. This kind of silence changes you. It makes you second guess your value. You start replaying past conversations, trying to find a mistake. You wonder if you were too much or not enough. You sit in the discomfort of uncertainty, holding on to hope that she might suddenly remember you exist. But let me be clear, when someone wants to talk to you, they will. No storm, no workload, no bad timing is enough to stop them from at least checking in. She's gone silent for days, weeks, even months. She has said more with her absence than she ever could with words. That silence is telling you where you stand. It's not rejection spoken outright. It's a slow fade meant to avoid confrontation. But that doesn't make it less real. In fact, it might hurt more, because you're left with nothing to hold on to but your imagination. And that will always lie to you when the truth feels too heavy. What's worse is how that silence trains you. You start believing that this is normal, that it's okay to wait indefinitely for someone who isn't showing up. You lower your standards, shrink your needs, and stay quiet just to not seem too needy. But what you're really doing is abandoning yourself. You forget that your time, your energy, your love, they are not disposable. They're not supposed to be given away to someone who treats communication like a burden. The longer you wait for her to remember you, the more you forget yourself. And that's the real danger. Not that she's gone, but that you've made her absence a reason to stay stuck. You've made her silence louder than your own worth. So what do? You stop waiting. You stop romanticizing distance. You stop giving your energy to someone who is giving you nothing in return. Because silence might be passive, but your response doesn't have to be. You have a voice. Use it, not to plead or beg, but to declare what you deserve. And if she doesn't respond, if she still disappears, then that's all the confirmation you need. Closure doesn't always come wrapped in words or explanation. Sometimes it comes in the form of a void that never gets filled. Accept it. Learn from it. Rise above it. Because you weren't made to sit in emotional limbo. You weren't created to be someone's afterthought. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it doesn't mean she's lost. It means she's chosen a path that doesn't include you. And that's not your failure, that's her choice. Your responsibility is not to chase her, but to reclaim your peace. Let her silence be the last word, and let your healing be the answer she never expected. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means you've been silently removed from the center of her attention. She may not have said it directly, she may not have announced her departure, but absence, when it's consistent and unbroken, is its own declaration. A woman who once reached out, who once laughed at your messages, checked in on your day or shared moments, if she can now go days, even weeks, without so much as a hello, that's not a pause, and that's a conclusion. And the worst part is, she may never tell you it's over. She'll let the silence do the talking while you sit wondering what went wrong, but you didn't do something wrong. You're just no longer part of the story she's telling herself. Too many men misinterpret silence. They see it as a test, as something they must endure, hoping if they wait long enough she'll return, that if they just hold on tighter she'll realize what she's missing. But this is not a game of patience. It's a reality check. When someone values you, you don't have to guess. When someone misses you, they reach out. And when someone cares, they make effort. Always, even in small ways. Silence doesn't come from love, it comes from detachment, from distance, from disinterest. And that may be a hard pill to swallow, especially when your heart is still invested, but that's where you have to lead with truth, not emotion, because emotion will keep you waiting. Truth will set you free. There's a reason her silence hurts. It's because you allowed yourself to believe you mattered. And maybe for a time you did, but people change, feelings shift, priorities move. And instead of having the courage to tell you that directly, some people simply disappear. They hope you get the message without them having to say the words. That's the quiet exit, and it's more common than you think. But you're not powerless in this situation. You don't need closure from someone who won't even offer you clarity. The very fact that she's gone silent for so long, that she can go on with her life while you're still checking your phone, is all the closure you need. She's moved on, or she's trying to, and you must let her. There's nothing dignified about waiting on someone who isn't thinking about you. There's nothing noble about giving time to someone who has already taken enough. At some point you have to ask yourself, what is my peace worth? If you keep investing your emotional energy in someone who has disconnected, you're not being loyal. You're being unavailable to yourself. And that's the greatest loss of all. You lose sight of your own worth while clinging to someone who already let go. This isn't about being bitter, it's about being wise, being awake, knowing when to stop knocking on a door that's no longer opening. So believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means you're no longer part of her picture. And instead of shrinking because of that, you grow, you learn, you pull your energy back and reinvest it in your own healing, your own goals, your own life. You don't wait for someone to remember you, you remember yourself, because the longer you wait for her message, the more time you lose becoming the man who no longer needs it. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means something clear, even if you refuse to admit it. It means that somewhere along the way, you stopped being important enough for her to reach out. It's not just a coincidence or a busy schedule, it's a choice. She chose silence over conversation, distance over connection. And that silence speaks volumes, louder than any words could. When you're left staring at a quiet phone or an empty chat screen, that silence is the loudest message you will receive. You are no longer a priority. The hard truth is that in a world where communication is instant and effortless, the absence of it is not accidental, it's intentional. She is sending you a signal, and it's time to listen. Many men try to rationalize this silence. They tell themselves she's going through something, or that she needs space, or that she's confused about her feelings. But the truth is, when someone cares about you, they make the effort to connect, no matter the circumstances. When love is alive, distance doesn't kill it. It strengthens it. Even in the busiest or toughest times, a simple message can bridge any gap. So, if she's gone silent for a long stretch, it means her feelings have shifted. It means she has emotionally checked out. And that's not your fault. That's a reality you have to accept if you want to reclaim your peace. Waiting for a woman who has withdrawn her attention is not patience, it's self-deception. What makes this silence especially painful is the hope it breeds. You keep waiting for a sign, a word, a spark. You replay old conversations in your mind, searching for clues, wondering if there was a moment when things started to change. But hoping won't bring her back. Hoping won't bring her back. Holding on to silence won't fill the void. It only keeps you stuck in limbo, trapped between what was and what will never be again. And every day you wait, you invest precious time and energy in someone who isn't investing in you. You are not a backup plan or a convenience to be summoned when it suits her. You deserve more than scraps of attention and long stretches of silence. So what do you do when faced with this kind of silence? You stop waiting. You stop giving your energy to someone who has clearly moved on. You don't need words of closure when silence has already spoken the truth. You reclaim your power by refusing to stay invisible in her life. You focus on yourself, your growth, your goals, your happiness. You surround yourself with people who show up, who communicate, who make you feel wanted, because you were never meant to be left wandering in the shadows. Your value is not determined by someone else's silence. Your worth is inherent, and it's time you start living like it. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means she's already made her choice, and it's not you. And while that may hurt, it is also a chance to stop chasing what's gone, to stop hoping for what won't come. It's an opportunity to focus on what truly matters, your own peace and purpose. So don't wait for a message that will never come. Don't sit in silence that breaks your spirit. Stand up, walk away, and live fully. Because the man who refuses to be defined by someone else's silence is the man who truly wins. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means something more profound than you might want to admit. It means she's already moved away, not just physically or emotionally, but mentally. In today's connected world, where a simple message takes seconds to send, long silence is not accidental. It is a choice. When she stays quiet for days or weeks, it's her way of telling you without words that you no longer occupy the space in her life that you once did. This silence is not empty. It's filled with meaning, and the message is clear. You are no longer a priority. It's painful to face, but ignoring it only delays the inevitable truth. You need to accept in order to move forward. Men often try to soften this reality with excuses. Maybe she's overwhelmed. Maybe she's dealing with personal issues. Maybe she's just confused. But the truth is, when a woman truly cares, she will make the effort, no matter what. Life's challenges don't erase genuine concern or interest. The smallest gesture, a quick check-in, a thinking of you text, can cut through even the hardest days. So when there's an extended silence, it means her feelings have shifted, her focus has changed. This is not about blaming or faulting, but about understanding reality. Holding on to someone who is emotionally detached only drains your strength and self-worth. Recognizing this silence as a sign, not a punishment, is the first step toward reclaiming your life. What makes prolonged silence so difficult is the hope it fosters. You wait for a sign, replay old conversations, analyze every missed call, and convince yourself things will get better. But this hope is a trap. It keeps you tethered to a fading connection that no longer serves you. Waiting in this limbo hurts more than a direct goodbye because it leaves you without closure. And closure doesn't always come wrapped in words. Sometimes it comes in the absence of words, the quiet that confirms what you don't want to hear but need to know. You must stop mistaking silence for space or healing time. Sometimes silence means the chapter is over and it's time to turn the page. Silence also teaches a harsh lesson about respect, self-respect. When you allow yourself to be the person waiting in the wings, hoping for attention that rarely comes, you diminish your own value. You forget that your time, your feelings, your presence are precious and deserve to be honored. You weren't born to be someone's afterthought or option. You were created to be chosen. Recognizing that waiting for someone who doesn't reach out is a form of self-neglect is crucial. It's not weakness to walk away, it's strength. It's choosing to prioritize your peace over uncertainty and your dignity over desperation. The right response to this kind of silence is not more silence, it's action. Action that reclaims your voice and your power. Don't wait for her to come back. Don't send message after message hoping for a response. Instead, invest in yourself. Fill your time with things that build you up. Surround yourself with people who see your worth and communicate their care. Create a life where your happiness doesn't depend on someone else's attention. This is how you break free from the chains of silence and find freedom in your own worthiness. Believe it or not, when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, it means she has made a choice to move on. And while it might feel like an ending, it's actually a beginning. A beginning for you to stop chasing what no longer wants to be found and start chasing the life you deserve. Your story doesn't end with her silence. It begins the moment you stop waiting for it to be broken. So honor yourself enough to listen to the message silence brings. Let go with grace. Stand tall in your truth and step forward into a future where you are chosen, not left waiting. You deserve reciprocity. You deserve clarity. You deserve to stop waiting and start living. So when she doesn't call or message you for a long time, believe it or not, that is the answer. And now, you know what to do.